First one is just your comment on the recent book of Bishop of Birmingham on the probability of God. And the second one related to the same area is the scientists in terms of origin, relativity, etc. are talking about the original Big Bang, etc.
You have helped yourself to 3 questions instead of 1.
Cheek, I'm sorry.
Yes.
But just on this area, reading on that book and generally, in the Holy Quran I recall there's a verse that God opened up a closed mass, which the speaker about 2 years back mentioned in.
Yes.
Now with that in reference possibly, do we have any idea from the Holy
Quran? That is the verse you are mentioning. They were like a closed ball, tightly sewn from all sides so that nothing could be released. And then God opened it, ripped it open.
Right. So on that idea, one of the theories has been that there was initially just one closed up mass and it exploded to create the universe. Other people obviously trying to create the idea there's no God are trying to say that there's a cyclical events, etc., etc. Where do we stand, or where does the Quran stand on terms of, was it just one?
I know of no other people as you know them, so you'll have to first tell me which people and what are they saying.
There's a number
as far
of
as I know,
yeah.
The Big Bang concept requires total lack of our knowledge as to what is happening. So when there is a total lack of knowledge, then how can a group of scientists say that this could have happened that way and that way? We don't know. Event horizon means total disappearance of properties. So when the entire properties have disappeared, the existence is no longer there. In reality, what it amounts to is creation from non-existence. Because Big Bang implies this, otherwise there can't be a Big Bang. Big Bang implies that everything has been swallowed up by a giant black hole which increases in size, in strength, and decreases in size. And they are inversely proportioned. That is the most, the fantastic part of it. The more it increases in strength, the black hole, the less it grows in size. And the less it grows in size, more it becomes in power, greater it becomes in power. And the more it eats of the matter, less it becomes in size and more powerful it becomes. So that is the dilemma. Until everything is swallowed up, the entire universe is swallowed up and disappears into what might be imaginatively a ball, a small non-existent ball which loses all properties. Or if it contains some properties, to a foreign observer, it is totally without a property. And existence can only be measured through properties. So this is why the scientists call event horizon. A horizon of existence and non-existence, that appears. So how can they say that there is no God? I have not read a single scientist who, speaking on this subject, says it happened automatically, or we can prove it to be happening automatically. I don't think you have rightly quoted anyone.
It's just, I think Peter Hawkins and his group are trying to imply on the idea that they're cyclical, there are a lot of different events occurring, whereas a lot of the older established from...
No, but that doesn't establish anything. The point you are making, that's the point. Cycles are mentioned in the Holy Quran itself. The Holy Quran describes 2 different phenomena. One, that of disappearance of all matter into a closely knit, tightly sewn, ball-like thing, of which we don't know because everything has disappeared inside it. Secondly, it says that the universe is found in the form of clouds, huge clouds, shapeless clouds. Then God gives shape to those clouds and separate one part from the other, and this is how ultimately heaven and earth are shaped. Both these ideas are correct and scientifically proved. Because after the Big Bang, this is exactly what should happen. a shapeless, nameless cloud is to appear, and which it was destined gradually to settle down into various groups of properties and elements and nebula and so on and so forth. So there is nothing which can be proved against God. All that can be proved is in favor of God, though, I mean, some people may reject that. We say, no, we don't know what is beyond, so that's enough. But nothing can be proved against God from this. The strongest proof now you can give is this, that not only that we are led to some creator behind, because once the power is locked up in the relationship which you yourself, the scientists have mentioned, that the greater the power of holding itself together, smaller the size. And the smaller the size, the greater the power to attract other things to it, and it's more impossible it becomes for the inner matter to be released and escape. This is the relationship which makes it impossible for the Big Bang to occur. It requires a greater power to release all the locked forces, which by being locked up become too strong a prison for themselves. This is the dilemma. This is why Einstein, when he understood this, this was his remark, oh, we will be led to God now. And that is what he said, that physics will be led now to God. This was the first natural reaction. And he was an intelligent man, you must give him that.
I think just on the book as well, there's quite a girth of evidence which suggests, and certainly I was very happy to read it, and I accept that there is a lot of evidence for scientists to accept God rather than not to accept.
And another thing, I'll tell you, what I wanted to point out is this, that you should tell your scientist students, friends and colleagues, that this has been mentioned in the Holy Quran. That is the beauty of it. By just studying this phenomena, you can be led to a God, a concept of God, and the possibility of the existence of God. But maybe that God is dead. I mean, scientists they say God is dead and so on, like Nietzsche said. Maybe he is no more in existence. Maybe he is there, but he does not establish contact with human beings. It's too small an affair for him, for so on and so forth. All this is negated when this theory, or these facts, I should say, we find mentioned in the Holy Quran. And we find it impossible for the man of Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's age to conceive these things, and so correctly and so precisely. A conjecture, a philosophical conjecture, should take flight in the right direction and in the wrong direction as well. But in the Holy Quran, what has been mentioned is the precise truth, nothing but the truth, and the whole truth. All the possible aspects are mentioned. So that shows that that being was real and in existence, to which these pointers are indicating that there could be a God. Not that could be, he was there, and he spoke to Allah and told him that this is how I created. So this clinches the issue in this whole context.